Okay, so welcome to video one. So this title probably gets you a little bit intrigued into what this this video is all about. Well, I'm going to tell you a story that happened about 28 years ago to me, and this is the reason why I have done this title. I'm going to read it out so I don't make a mistake, but it says, "When life delivers a magic moment, a flight that I will never forget." And to this day, I won't. I haven't forgotten, and I probably won't until I'm no longer around. But I love this story because it really is that classic, don't ever judge a book by its cover. So let me begin. It all starts back in 1997. I was a lot younger there, had jet black hair, really slim, no grey hair. Anyway, sorry. So I'm one of those travellers who always likes to get to the airport early. I always like to be in the front row of aeroplanes. I always like to get on the flight first. I'm just a bit of a nightmare when it comes to that sort of thing. But my family don't complain, when they're first on the flight or stuff like that. But anyway, look, it can be a bit annoying when you're not that way inclined. But I am, unfortunately, and I live in the UK, and when you do live on an island, it's quite a big island, but it's still an island. You have to take a lot of flights, especially with business and things like that. So I've been flying all my life. I probably go on about 15 or 20 flights every single year. And anyway, but let's go back to 28 years ago. Guess what? I was one of the first on the plane. I think, I can't remember, probably first, second or third on the plane. And I was in the front row, okay? I like to stretch my legs out, get on the plane early, put my headphones on. Don't really talk to anyone on flights. This one was going from London to Belfast in Northern Ireland. I was actually flying out to see a friend of mine for the weekend. So I got on the flight. It's an hour, I think about an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm sat in the front row and the whole plane starts filling up. Now, it's changed. The procedure's changed now, but 25, 30 years ago, they used to load people that had, needed assistance and all that sort of stuff. They load them first now, whereas 25, 30 years ago, they seemed to load them when majority of the people were actually sat down on the flight. So I'm on the front row, on the right-hand side, and I'm in the middle seat. Slightly deliberate because I don't want anyone either side of me. So I don't want like two people sat next to me. I'm horrible, aren't I? No, I'm not. I took the middle seat anyway. And I had my headphones on and I'm just settling down and I'm going, right, it's only an hour and 15 minutes and this is going to be really cool. And start listening to music. Well, to my horror, I looked up and saw about 4 airport staff trying to get this sweet old lady in a wheelchair into the aeroplane. And I heard one of them say, we're going to put you on the front row. You'll be sitting next to this gentleman here. So I'm obviously pretending not to realise she's talking about me. This lady was clearly in a, late 80s, early 90s. She was very frail, but lovely, really sweet lady. Anyway, they wheeled her and decided to sit her next to me. And I'm thinking in my head, oh, this is just not going to be good at all. Because one thing I do know is that older people, when they love to talk You know, a lot of them live very solitary lifestyles. They live on their own, maybe, and they don't get out as much as not normal people, younger people. Sorry. And I knew straight away that this lady was one of those who, didn't interact a whole lot with people. So, sitting on a flight next to a younger gentleman, she's probably thinking, "Oh, this is going to be really nice, and we can chat and everything." Well, obviously, I'm thinking the opposite. That I'm like, "Oh, I really, really want to just sort of put my headphones on, not say a word, and then hopefully just get off the flight, and that'll be it." But something happened where I just decided to politely and respectfully take my headphones off and just put them around my neck, because I didn't want this lady to think I was being really rude and obnoxious and not even sort of like saying hello or anything like that. So I took my headphones off and just politely started to make small talk whilst they were sorting their luggage out and everything. And what happened after that was, it was just incredible. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. So it turns out that this sweet little old lady was traveling over to Northern Ireland, to Belfast, to do a BBC documentary. So they were flying her out from the UK, from London to Belfast in Northern Ireland, to do a BBC documentary. This sweet little lady in her 90s, I'm reading it from my notes here because I don't want to miss anything out. She told me that she was the only living person left that knew Queen Elizabeth II, the Queen, when she was a little girl, outside of the royal family, obviously, because the Queen Mother was still alive, but she was the only person outside of the royal family that was still alive that knew the Queen when she was a little girl. Now, how unbelievably cool is that? I mean, that is just incredible. So I was asking all these questions, and again, I can't go into all the details. I genuinely have, it was 28 years ago, so I've forgotten a lot of the things that she had told me. I can't even remember her name. But when you're sat there talking to somebody and you just get that sneak feeling that everyone around you was listening in on that conversation as well. I mean, literally the first 5 or 6 rows of that aeroplane was just deadly silent for that 1 hour, 15 minutes. It was unbelievable. People were taking their headphones off. They were pretending to read, but I knew for a fact that everyone was going, "Oh, I can't believe this lady was one of the babysat, or was one of the nannies to the Queen and Margaret and Princess Margaret." It was phenomenal. And I spent an hour and 15 minutes chatting away to this lady, and it was incredible. It was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. What an absolute dream to be in this lady's presence. And I knew I had the best seat in the house because everyone around me was going, "Oh, I just wish I was, I could ask her some questions and stuff like that." So, I put the title of this video as Never Judge a Book by Its Cover. Well, boy, oh boy, did I learn that, sometimes you just get these little gems, these little gifts given to you in life, and if you could take advantage of them, then boy, oh boy, you'll never forget them. You'll never, ever forget them. So, that was pretty much that was pretty much the flight. And I got off the flight. I'm normally, as I say, first off, I just wanted to sit and talk to her. I would have sat and talked to her on the return flight home, but obviously she had to get off and do her interview. And obviously I went on and went to see a friend of mine, which is another video, because that one's an absolute fantastic story to tell you as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So this lady was the only living person left in, I think it was 97. It was who babysat the Queen, looked after the Queen. And obviously, I don't know if you know your history, but Queen Elizabeth wasn't actually, or Elizabeth and Margaret weren't actually. They were, I think. Elizabeth was like third in line to the throne. So she wasn't actually due to be the Queen. So I think that's why they had maybe a few staff, in the house. And anyway, this lady, I think she must have been about, I think she told me she was like, I think it was 18 or 19 or 20, something like that. She was very young herself. I think she was born like 1909 or something, 1908. And yeah, anyway, so she was just incredible, and I was in total awe and couldn't believe everything she was telling me. It was just mind-blowing. So there you go, there's my little story, and feel free to make any comments below. It's just incredible, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.